Hi guys, welcome to another stream. My name is Akash and I'll be again your financial analyst. So good to see you. We are meeting after a complete week and the market is full of all one of the best things that we can see from the expect from the market. So guys, welcome to another stream. I welcome you behalf from the financial analyst team. We are always been there to assist you with all your queries and your problems along with today's stream. Today we'll be working about the market analysis. Today's stream is something that we'll be discussing about the market and the upcoming market trading ideas. In the meantime, guys, the comment section has been completely open for you in case if you have any questions that you may wish to ask, or if you have any questions regarding anything, may it be regarding fixed time trading or forex trading, and which one do you prefer more, you can let me know in the comment section. We are always been thriving on the fact that your feedbacks provide us the greater extent so that we can reach out to you and get to know what your trading sentiments are, and therefore we as a team are working to benefit you in the long run. Welcome to another stream. My name is Akash and I'll be your financial analyst for today's special live sessions. As you know, today's stream we will be completely dedicated upon the market analysis, what was happening in the last week and what will be happening in the upcoming days onwards. Absolutely, we have a conversation regarding a lot of market trends and the market volatility in total. We have seen amazing trends in the market. I was able to squeeze my profit out of it, and I would also share my trading details, how did I execute the trade and how the market basically behaved in entire last week. Welcome to another stream. Guys, the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing is I love to have conversation with you. This is the only medium by which I can have conversations with you. Feel free to ask your questions again. Your questions are quite helpful for us, and we will be more than happy to answer all your questions in this conversation. The comment window is all yours, and let me tell you that your feedback matters a lot to us. We gather your feedback, and whatever you may feel, you can comment in the comment section. Absolutely be respectful for each other. And guys, let me tell you that the trades that I'll be taking in my trading account will be completely based on my analytics of the market. What is the current market, what are the current market situation. At the same time, we will try to squeeze out a lot of trading ideas on which the profitability can be made, may it be in fixed time trade on forex mode. Let me know in the comment section which one is your favorite one. Is it the fixed time trading that you prefer more, or is it the forex? I'll be more than happy to answer your questions. I think we have a couple of comments there. Mr. IPTV Brazil, unfortunately sir, I'm not able to understand your language. You can comment in the English language. So this Olymptrade Practice channel has been there with your demands, and if you like today's stream, you can comment and you can share this video with your friends. You can like the video, and yeah, that's all we'll be talking about for today. So let's start with the market analysis. I have prepared a bunch of news, and I would be more than happy to share all these details with you. Let's begin our conversation. So guys, as you know that we majorly focuses on the market trend and what would be the major trading ideas that we can create out of it. So this week we have a couple of news events which will be lined up I think a couple of days later. In the meantime, let's talk about the market in the last week. So today's market analysis, as I told you, today's completely session would be dedicated on the market analysis. The first half of this session will be dedicated on what has happened in the last week, whether we were able to make profit on it, the last news event. It includes CPI, PPI, and a lot of things that has happened in the last week. So I'll be more than happy to answer your questions. Let's begin our conversation. So I have created some topics for you for this week, and we'll try to understand the market dynamics there. So let's start with the very first news. As you know, the market is very volatile this week. We have seen a lot of variation in the market. We'll start with one of the major understanding about the market. So you know that the recently US is playing tariff war with the different countries. So what is been happening right now? So while I was reading and analyzing the news event, I was gathering the perfect news event to share with you, and what could this impact in the upcoming market trend. This is what we'll be discussing in today's session. So we'll start one thing at a time. If you know guys, US recently has imposed like around 25% tariffs on the steel imports amongst all the countries. Majorly it includes like China, Mexico. There are another tariff, and there are some more tariff plans which are in the process. So how it will gonna impact the market? is what we're gonna discuss in today's session. So guys, because US has been a major part of the financial movement. We can include a lot of currency pairs. We can say Euro, USD, gold, even Bitcoin has seen a major impulsive reaction on that. We have all the cryptocurrencies listed here, which has tremendously impacted the market. So we'll start one thing at a time. So let's get to the very first session. So these tariff rates are imported on aluminum and steel, which has created what we can say that a major impact in the market. Now, how did they impacted the market? So because of that, the US might face a little inflation for the short term. While I was reading through the Donald Trump's conversation with the press, it will be momentary. There is a possibility for US like around. I was reading a news article where it was estimating around 40% possibility of the recession has been estimated by Morgan Stanley, and Goldman Sachs also indicated a temporarily volatile market volatility to the greater extent. We'll start one thing at a time. So because of that factor, the market was under tremendous pressure. So we can see that the price of dollar compared to all the currencies started declining because of the surging which has been happening there. So if we zoom out in the existing situation, what we'll see, the dollar index. Dollar index basically comprises of all the currency pairs. It majorly includes Euro, USD, USD JPY, USD CAD, USD CHF. These major 6 players create a greatest market momentum. So if you'll see, the market has been continuously downtrend for the value of dollar. So that means if we compare dollar index, that means the dollar is decreasing against all the pair, and this also has benefited Euro USD to one of the good instinct, if we'll say. So if we switch to Euro USD, we can see that the price of Euro USD is continuously to climb up. So the major part was placed by USNA. If you'll see, the value come close to 1.0 level. So I was actually analyzing the market here, and once I selected the graph for 30 minutes, I found out there was a very good level of resistance. And if we compare with the USD JPY, let's start with USD JPY for the first time. So USD JPY come close to very close level of 149. Now if we select the graph for a day, we can absolutely see that there is a good level of resistance. 1 hour graph we will select 1, 2, 3. So there are 3 moments on which there was a scalping could be made. So let me select a symbol, draw a horizontal line for the sake of understanding the support and resistance level. Let me draw a temporary resistance level here. Okay, and let's increase its size. As we can see, there was a margin for the USD JPY to fall back from this price level. We absolutely executed a trade on this. I was scalping my part in here. As soon as I found out there is a high probability for market to decline, we saw a couple of candles were red, and we took the trade in downward direction. We ended up making around 20% profit, and it went in our way. That was the first update. Not only this, but it also impacted the US indexes. It includes Dow Jones. Now, if we closely monitor this situation, this is an industrial index. See, Dow has been continuously falling under because of this market uncertainties. Not only Dow Jones, we can see that S&P 500. Majority of the time there will be one thing that I wanted to discuss with you is regarding the correlation. Now Dow Jones, if you see the graph, S&P 500, these indexes have a close relation of +1. That means these graph look exactly similar. So it hampered the performance of S&P 500. Majorly it impacted Tesla. Now we know Tesla was under tremendous selling pressure. Back in the time when the Tesla price was all-time high, we were expected the price of close to like around 400, and then because of a lot of decisions taken by the US officials, the market tend to be on the decreasing side. Now right now what we have an opportunity, we have 50% discount on Tesla. 50% discount on Tesla. And because of this, for the longer run, we know that the market recovers after certain volatility, and there are higher chances for this. You can hold your position, you can do it on Forex, or you can do it on stock. On stock, you probably will, since the asset is closed, it will not be available for the trading session right now. It will be opening according to the Indian Standard Time around 19:05. The daytime part has been switched recently. So this market uncertainty not only crashed Tesla, the major players, we can say that Tesla, we can also see that the Nvidia also declined considerably because of that factor. See, it's been continuously on the decline side. And even if we can compare some technological aspect, even Microsoft and Google hampered the performance of the market because of the same market uncertainty. Guys, let me know in the comment section. Unfortunately, I was too busy in watching the market. You have an absolute access to our comment section. Feel free if you have any question that you may want to ask. We can talk about gold, we can talk about dollar index, euro, USD, Dow Jones, any asset of your choice. Let me tell you that today's session will be a complete market analysis that we'll be doing. I have a lot of news lined up for you, especially day after tomorrow. The market will be acting amazingly well. Let's compare what really recently has happened. So because of these factors, the market was continuously plumbing itself down. The market decreased substantially for all these indexes for US. So what does it really, is it gonna really affect the market sentiment? It does. So people, when the market is turning down, a lot of assets had started, like even the indexes, as I told you, started pushing itself into the downward direction. There was one asset, if I may want to say, people often tend themselves to one of the safest haven. And we know for the fact that no other safest haven would be apart from gold. I want you to have a very closer look on the gold. So while we were having a conversation in the last week regarding gold, I'll tell you what were the reason why the gold is rising. So one of the major reason is like people often tend themselves to invest in an asset where there will be the higher profitability, and it is apart from the market fluctuation, it would be safe. Like people want to invest their money in a safe asset where they will try to make a good amount of profit in it. So gold is one of the assets. Gold has been continuously rising and it hit the all-time highest record ever, 3,000. It was able to break above 3,000 level partially, and then it decreased. Now again, I consider gold has a substantial chances to break above this level, 3,000. So there were two attempts to break this, 1 and 2. And still there are higher chances for the gold to be on the rising front. There will be absolutely some sort of market recovery will be happening. As we can see in the first treatment, as it broke above this 3,000 level, it temporarily pushed itself down, and then it also started rising. So not only gold, but we can also consider the safe haven would be silver. Guys, in terms of silver price are also are on the rising front. People often tend themselves in the extreme market volatile situation. They often tend to divert themselves, their investment on the safe haven. Gold and silver are acting like just the one. So let's talk what went in the last week respect to the consumer price index. Now, while we were having a conversation, if you remember, guys, I want you to watch the last stream if you have. Let me just apply filter here to give you more quick idea about these, and I will share my insight. What are gonna be the chances for the market in upcoming 2 days? We'll try to understand, and we'll most probably will try to squeeze our profit on those tight market volatility situations. So being on the safer side, let's take an example for the last information released on the last week, that is on Wednesday 12th. Consumer price index, it is an often indicator for the US inflation data. We found out consumer price index was red, so that means US inflation compared to the last month was substantially reduced. But will it gonna be lasting forever? Certainly not. So there are higher chances in the upcoming time the consumer price index would be on the higher side. This is a good idea for temporarily for Fed. So what really happens, the inflation data is directly correlated with the interest rate decisions Jeremy Powell makes. I will give you elaborative answer on that. If you need a complete session on that, I will definitely love to give you an analogy between the interest rate decisions and the impact of the same specifically on the gold. Let me know in the comment section how many of you do want to have a conversation about it, and I'll be more than happy to explain you about that part. So let's start our analysis. What will be going to happen in the next week? Let's try to understand and decipher what really went in the last week with respect to the USD. So consumer price index data was red, which in stream made USD JPY or any USD pair. We can mention any USD pair. So in any USD pair, basically because of the extreme volatility, we can expect the market to plunge down, and it did in fact. Let me show you the candle here itself. The data was released on 12th of March, exactly according to the Indian Standard Time, around 6. So if we switch the graph to 5 minutes duration, and we'll switch our trading mode on March 12. So let me show you March 12 candle. Okay. Guys, have you seen this? Consumer price index was red. Because of the same factor, the market decreased, and then there were buyers. Since the USD JPY were fallen greatly, there were a lot of buyers which pushed the market again into the upward sentiment, and then after it started tumbling down. So the value of USD decreases. And if you remember in the last CPI data analysis, I told you if the market for the CPI turned out to be red or green, there are higher chances for gold price to rise from these moments. And if you'll see after 12 here, what this, boom, the value of gold started increasing. So this is what we analyzed in the last week. I told you there are higher chances for the value of gold to increase, and it did. So I did my plot. I basically made good amount of profit on gold. So here I scalped my way out in the existing state. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to hold that position for long. As I told you, this was a scalping trade. That means I hold the position for a very short time. I made the money and I left the market. That was the great or a good analogy that we applied in the existing market, and based on that we tried to decipher what would be the market sentiments. Not only this, I also give you information regarding PPI. So PPI is a smaller brother of CPI. It's known as the producer price index. It includes whether the manufacturing cost in the US industry has been increased or not. And here we can see that these data are red. So the analogy that we made before closing the last stream, I told you, in whichever the direction the PPI data are gonna be, candle have a history to reverse or move in opposite direction of the data. And in fact, the same situation has happened. Let me give you an example. So I want you to take a note of this point. Every time when the producer price index data comes, there are higher chances for the market to move into the opposite direction of the data itself. Now here the data is indicating that the PPI has been greatly reduced. It often impact USD along with all the pair. We may name Euro USD, GBP USD, AUD USD, any pair. Even it impacts substantially with the value of gold. So let me give you an example. So let's take an example for USD JPY. I will quickly switch back to what really has happened. So on 13th of March, exactly at 6 o'clock, we can see that the PPI data was released. We switch the graph to 30 minutes, and I want you to observe this carefully. This is an amazing trade I wanted to show you. So on 13, exactly at 6, the data was red. And if I switch the graph to 5 minutes, just for the confirmation or the clarification about it, let me zoom out. And on 13, exactly at 6, this data was released. On the very first moment, market moved into the bearish sentiments. It did. And then it rises. So our analogy, this is completely based on the last couple of years analysis that I've been doing on the PPI, and around 90% of the time we found out the PPI candle often tends to reflect in opposite direction, and this in fact has really happened. Another impact, how fundamental analysis plays a crucial role in the market and determining the market analysis there. So if you'll see, there is a big of a doji candle formation on 13. It was somewhere here. Okay, exactly at this candle. As I told you, the gold will try to oppose itself in whichever direction the value of USD goes. Gold usually move itself into the opposite direction. So let me switch to gold, and I want you to check the date. 13/3/2025, exactly at 6, the market first moved down and then started rising. And look at my trade on 13. If you may see the timing, somewhere, okay, I think we hold the position on another sub account of mine. Okay, but these hypotheses, if we check USD, let's check gold at the same price level. 13/6/18. Here, can you see this? Gold works exactly opposite to the variation in USD. And the thing that we can observe from this candle, let me just quickly share it with you. We have a very lesser amount of time available. Let me just quickly give you another couple of updates very soon. Oh yeah. Okay. So see, the first of all, it went in upward direction. For USD, it went in downward direction, then started rising, and here it first went in upward direction and then moved in opposite direction. This is what the inverse correlation plays with gold and USD. Let's quickly jump to another session here. In the next couple of days, I want you to pay a very close attention on this event. We call it as a BOJ interest rate decisions. This is one of the biggest datas in my opinion. A lot of time Bank of Japan decide itself whether they will be, Japan's economy was something that back in the time the interest rate decisions were negative, but in order to strengthen their yen, they started increase the interest rate decision. So this time there is a high probability whether they will be keeping the interest rate into the same segment. But if we check USD GPY, guys, be very careful. Exactly between 8 to 9 a.m. Indian Standard Time, there will be a big candle formation. Now if you are looking out to squeeze your profit on it, we will try to take the trade according to the trend. Even though the data suggests that it will be released exactly at 8:30 in the morning itself, but the data usually shuffle its timing anytime between 8 to 9 a.m. according to the Indian Standard Time. Now you can change the time accordingly and take the trade. Now one of the biggest decisions will be taken by the Fed interest rate decision. Now I want you to have a very closer look, because I was doing a reverse analysis on this. So FOMC chairman Jeremy Powell will be thinking about the interest rate. Now there are higher chances that these interest rate gonna be equal. So we know for sure this data will be around 4.5%. 90% of the time it has been found equal. And the analysis while I was doing it, when actual forecast and previous data tends to be equal, the value of USD before even this news impact, it corrects itself, it moves into the bearish sentiments. Yeah. So a lot of times, around 75% of the time, we often found out that the value of USD, there are higher chances, a good chances based on the previous history. Absolutely, market never moves the way it has intended in the in its past, but it gives you a sign that there are good chances for USD JPY to decrease day after tomorrow before even 11:30. The correction phase can happen anytime, but there are higher chances for the USD JPY to correct itself on day after tomorrow's news event. That is on 19th, guys. So Fed interest rate decisions will be playing a crucial role. And not only this, so guys, if you try to create a trading idea based on this, I have one good suggestion. So hypothetically, let's just suppose if the value of gold decreases on the Fed interest rate, in my opinion, in my analysis, which might be wrong, if the value of gold decreases, because if the value of USD increases, that means the gold if the value of gold decreases, USD decreases, gold will try to increase. But if there are certain part, if day after tomorrow, if the value of gold decreases, we still can hold our position using 50x as a leverage, and you can hold your position based on This is the market analysis that I have been trying to implement. I basically watch a lot of news event there, and I found out. Give me a moment, guys. Just a second, please. So there are a lot of moments. Unfortunately, I think there was some glitch in my headphones. Now it has been. I have been trying to correct it. Let me know in the comment section. Okay, so these were the market dynamics that we were talking about. So as I told you, there are higher chances for the USD to decrease day after tomorrow based on the Fed interest rate decisions will be taken. And if it start decreasing, it will certainly going to impact on gold. Now, if the value of gold decreases, in the longer run, gold has a substantial high probability to rise. So take a note of this. Existingly this week, there are two major events that you can focus your attention on, and ultimately it will be going to benefit us in the longer run. We have another news lined up for tomorrow. The consumer price index data will be released for Canadian dollar. In case you want to know how it basically works, we click on the CPI, consumer price index, and we'll see what consumer price index really means. It basically suggests an inflation point. These inflation point will be leading further for the Bank of Canada to increase or decrease the interest rate substantially. Yeah, so these are the major moments in the market. Guys, I hope you like today's stream. There are a lot of news event yet, and one more thing that I wanted to share with you. In the last week, we talked about Brent. Brent went amazingly to the lowest sentiments. One of the greatest entry that we could have was on the Brent itself, and it's still in the buying zone. If you select the graph for a day, we can easily able to determine that this particular price level is acting as a very strong level of support. If I want to draw a support line in here, let me just show you. Okay, let me zoom out, and here. Now I have placed it. Let me make this line a little thicker one. Change the color to red. Okay, give me a moment. My system is acting up right now. Just a second, please. Okay, watch this. This is an excellent level for buy. Now, in case you are a long-term trader and love forex in trading, this could be an amazing entry point for the buying, specifically with respect to Brent. Even though in the last week we talked about that, so I also held my position on Brent. Were able to made like close to $191 profit in it. As soon as I made my profit, I scalp my way out. I made around $191 profit, and it worked in our favor. So, guys, if you find there are good chances for the value of Brent to rise from this particular price moment, keep a very close look on it. In case if you have any question, feel free to ask me this question. In the next week, I would be showing you my trade that I'll be placing on the Bank of JPY, Bank of Japan. That means the interest rate decisions. USD JPY is something that I'll be looking very closely on. And I'll also try to show you my trade, which I'll be executing on the Fed interest rate decisions. These are the major economic events. Although there are a lot of events, but this specific week, these couple of instances, because usually the Fed interest rate decisions, the data usually comes one after another, 1 month after another one, and then it usually takes like a gap of around 40 to 45 days to see how the market basically reacted on that. So again, a Bank of Japan is another data which we can expect within a month and then after a couple of months. So keep a very closer look on it. And if you have any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer your questions. Okay, let's find some good trading ideas in here. So guys, let's try to understand what is happening with gold. As we know, gold would be a safer one. So it will try to break this level couple of more times, in my opinion. So the reason I was watching it very closely, the very first time it was able to break over 3000 level, what we did, we know 3000 level will act as a good psychological level of support or resistance. So if we may say round number act as a great level of support and resistance, since the gold reached 3000 and it made us to decide that there are higher chances that we will be selling our position. So we held our position at this moment. We scalp our way out and we ended up making some good amount of profit there, even though it's a small amount of profit, but this is how you basically watch the market and the market dynamics. I wish I could have more time to share with you. In case, guys, if you have any question, I will be watching your questions entirely this week. I'll be reading to all your comments, making sure that if you have any question, feel free to ask me. And guys, if you like today's stream, let me know your love by clicking on the like option. You can subscribe to Olymptrade and share with your friends, colleagues who are interested in trading and who do not know how exactly the market works. So the objective of Olymptrade is to help our client make their trading journey as smooth as possible, and the end result will be to capitalize on the various market events. Thank you very much for having me. It was lovely having conversation with you. Be careful for the day after tomorrow news. Hopefully, I'll be seeing you into the next week with some more trading ideas. My name is Akash, and I'll be signing out for today. Take care of yourself and good luck in trading. Bye bye, guys.